Fantasy is a series that's become synonymous with fantastical fashion. Never mind the playable cat people and remote-controlled stuffed toys and one-winged angels. This is a world, or worlds, where characters wear their hearts on their sleeves to their knees, and major plot devices in their hair. But the bland, uninspired boy band costume designs for Final Fantasy XV have, so far, left me cold. And the franchise's recurring mechanic character Sid got officially Rule 63'd, which would have been interesting if she wore a little more than a bikini, an oil stain and hot pants.
Head mechanic.
In all fairness, the unnamed male protagonist for upcoming mobile game Mavius Final Fantasy wears little more than a pair of armoured chaps. But you know, I miss the time when Final Fantasy costumes were about more than just showing skin. For me, Final Fantasy X and X-2 were a peak for the series in terms of costume design. Auron, for example, was the undisputed badass of Final Fantasy X, with dapper shoes, shades, and the biggest hip flask you will ever see. The thing I love most about X's outfits is how they all fold into a character's backstory or personality somehow. Wakka, Tidus, and Jack's costumes are essentially their Blitzball uniforms. Lulu serves up black mage gothic realness with her belt dress, and Yuna's modest summoner garb speaks of her dedication to her pilgrimage and her self-sacrificing nature, especially when compared to the outfit worn by summoner Donna. We need to talk about those big clumpy black boots though. This theme of dressing well is of course carried over to X too, where dress spheres become a major gameplay device, and the three protagonists, Yuna, Riku and Pain, use fashion as a weapon. Of course, it isn't just heroes dressing provocatively. While the franchise's arguably most iconic villain Sephiroth simply wore hockey shoulder pads over a leather trenchcoat and called it a day, Final Fantasy VI's Kefka fully commits to the sociopathic killer clown look, eventually becoming an all-powerful god with a Glasgow smile and a penchant for polka dots. It's a terrifying ensemble, though perhaps not quite as terrifying as Kuja's codpiece. Props to him for that later bitch's hair flip though. Comparatively speaking, the costumes for the franchise's more popular entries, Final Fantasy VII and VIII, were rather conservative, fitting function over fashion. VII's Vincent Valentine is perhaps the most flamboyant dresser of that group, though it's never clear who actually dressed him after putting him to sleep in that coffin beneath Shinra Mansion. Even so though, he's nothing on VI's secret character Gogo, the very definition of hot mess. Cloud and Squall's brooding outfits simply cannot touch Zidane's cravat and tail combo, or even Tidus' stupid mismatched shorts.
Give me a break, man!
Though, thinking about it, Cloud probably does still have an edge for his cross-dressing adventure at Don Corneo's mansion. Moving on to more recent titles, I can't say many costumes in the Nova Fabula Crystallis mythos really stand out, particularly after following on from a game featuring bunny ladies and sky pirates. And especially seeing as 13's main protagonist, Lightning, apparently prefers to borrow other people's trends rather than coming up with her own. But credit where it's due to Lightning Returns' Lumina, who wears the gothic Lolita look well even when the world ends around her and the plot just gets ever more convoluted. So, it's onwards to Final Fantasy XV, which so far features an all-male cast and corresponding outfits that look like they were put together by Simon Cowell. It's an unsurprisingly understated look for a game that also appears to have forsaken chocobos in favour of convertibles, but let's hope Final Fantasy's long-standing couture credentials haven't been ignored altogether. Now walk.